The first time I saw you
Yeah.
was off a post on Instagram. It's Suka. Everyone in the comments is like, oh my god, she just broke the hearts of like 50,000 like 16-year-olds out there, whoever, however old
Millions.
they are, millions. Yo, okay, hold on. Who are you girls? What are you guys doing? Until there's nothing like concrete, why would you even bother messaging her all these hate?
Even my brother, and they're like, yo, my boy sent me this TikTok. Like, are you dating Sukha? I'm like, bro. I'm like, people are going to say whatever they want to say. They're going to talk anyways. So I'm just like, you know what? Let them, right?
So you didn't want to like address it or like...
No, I'm like, it's not worth it.
When it comes to posting content, you probably didn't tell your parents that you're starting,
No.
but they found out. Did you feel weird like being a bride when you're not actually a bride?
I've always had that question on my mind.
Oh, this poor girl can't get a real fucking day, so she has to wear them all. I'm not joking. This is what I think.
Yeah.
You're my younger sister. I care about you, and I don't want you to go on the wrong path. You get DMs from guys. Some of them are famous. I love this for you, but like, I also don't want you to get starstruck or whatever it might be. You hear about it all the time, right? Hollywood freaking stories and all these things.
You've probably had male photographers, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been put in a position where you felt uncomfortable or they asking for a bit much?
No free ads on this podcast. Unless it's emerald baking.
Unless
go
it's
on.
emerald breaking. Yes, honestly.
Cut that out, cut that out. I'm joking.
Go on, go on. Welcome back to another episode of Limelight, and today I have a very, very special guest. Goes by the name of Beauty by Bella,
Yeah.
or also known as Taran Bella,
Taran Preet.
also known as Preeti to the
And
family.
Taran.
Oh, and Taran.
Yeah.
Actually,
you know what? Nobody really knows me as Taran Preet. It's actually
Beauty by Bella.
Beauty by Bella. Taran Bella. Family Preeti. Yeah, but real name Taran Preet Bella.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we didn't just bring some random influencer to our podcast because this person has like 10,000 followers and reshared some of our videos and got us so many followers. But no, we
Whatever.
we actually are family.
Yeah.
You are technically my sister, not my Sucky band, but my Sukha band, as we like to call
No,
it.
you're joking right now. Harmol doesn't know the joke.
I know.
He doesn't know the joke.
I just thought of Suka. It just made me laugh.
No, so
Speaking of Suka,
no, we'll get
Too
there.
early, too early.
So, yeah, we're actually our grandmas were sisters,
Sisters, yeah.
and I just want to start off by saying like I think they'd be both of our grandmas would be so happy to see us having a podcast, even though they have no idea what the hell a podcast is.
Yeah, they have no idea.
But they're tuned in right now.
Yeah, you know what? We're just having chalak up and we're doing chugliya.
Yeah.
We're talking, bro.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. We're together.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
And it's
Yeah.
I have obviously 4 grandparents, and I spent probably the very minimal time with my mom's side, which is the side that you're related to me from.
Yeah.
And my mom's mom, which is sisters with your dad's mom.
Yeah.
She spent one summer here in Canada
Yeah.
back when I was like, I want to say 8, 9, 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
And it was like the best summer of my life.
Yeah.
And that's how much of an impact she made on my life.
Yeah.
How much love she gave and how patient she was. Like I was this crazy kid running around all the time. And
hard to believe.
But imagine that. Hard to believe, but imagine that. But like from like birth to like adulthood.
you had.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your house.
That I had.
In your house.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And that impact you had within that summer.
3 months. Yeah.
I had like growing up. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah. And like 3 months, I remember thinking, I'm like, I have my grandparents that live here and I love them both dearly,
Yeah.
but I didn't have the same connection with any other grandparent
you
as
had
the way
with
I did with her.
Yeah.
The way that I can't explain it. It's not like I'm sitting here writing like, we did this. I remember I laughed this moment. I just like have this. I remember that summer being the best summer and like so much happiness that I feel just talking about her. So that's how I know Preeti. So you mentioned you make TikToks and things like that. That is something that both of us are kind of entering into in the family right now, making content online.
Yeah.
You do makeup content, which I'm not your target audience.
No, you're definitely not.
you started posting content that you still haven't actually archived. Like there's a lot of content that I scrolled all the way down a couple nights ago with you in your profile, and you were doing like really full out like looks, right? You called them costumes, or how would you describe them?
I would just call it like actual art, like, it's
Makeup.
art,
Yeah.
but in makeup form.
It was like different types
Yeah.
of looks on your,
It
like
was
not
like
just like beauty
themed
makeup.
based makeup. So it's like I did like Valentine's or like Halloween looks, and I did Christmas looks, and it was just using makeup as a form of art, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then what made you start that? Like, what like you woke up one day and were like, I'm going to post something, because you must have done these looks before you posted them.
No.
Well, you just decided to do it and then post one.
Yeah. So I've always done makeup. So I grew up being very artistic. I loved art. I loved anything art. So I did paintings. I love to paint and all that stuff. But I always wanted to actually have a public page, because growing up, I've always seen influencers or like, makeup artists and doing makeup looks. And I used to do them, but I never used to post them. I love taking selfies. I love taking pictures. I love taking videos, but it was never something that I shared on a public page. It was on Snapchat. Snapchat was the thing growing up, and Instagram, but like a private Instagram, it was always the thing growing up. I shared it as post. And so COVID happened, and I feel like everyone evolved during COVID time. And that's when I came out of my shell a little bit more. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is what I love to do. Like, creating makeup looks is what I like to do. And we had a lot of time at home to do stuff because we were restricted from going outside, So that's when I was like, you know what? This is maybe my chance to like, just who cares? Just post it. And we don't know where it's going to go. I have no idea. But because I love creating content, because I love doing makeup, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just do it. I'm going to take pictures and I'm just going to throw it out on social media. And it's crazy because I actually had people that I've looked up to follow me and share love. Like my first post got like how many comments? Like 20 plus comments. That's not normal. It's like you start off small and you get like one or two your friends like liking.
I don't think
commenting.
we've ever got 20 comments yet.
Honestly, no. Probably in the
shit.
first post, everyone's saying, "Hey guys, good luck."
Fire emojis, fire emojis,
Fire emojis, and then they just give
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, like I got really good feedback and people loved my work. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I feel like a beginner right now just because I just started posting. But because of the love I got, I'm like, no, maybe I need to continue this. People love it. People are enjoying it. And so this is what I love to do. It didn't feel like a job. It didn't feel like, oh my God, I need to come home. I need to create content. I need to make a makeup look. No, it was like, this is what I love to do. I like to take selfies and being in front of the camera. So I did it. I posted it and I got the love. I tagged the brands and I didn't think it would go anywhere. I just thought it was just, people that would like to see it will be there for me, support me.
It took us some time for you to like start getting brand deals, or did you always get them from day one?
No,
I feel like
no.
when we first reconnected, I mean, part of the story is we knew each other when we were kids, because you're from Toronto, I'm from Vancouver. We visited there once and spent some time with you. She's not changed one bit at all since that time. And anyways, we didn't really talk much over and above that. And then fast forward to 2022 when you came to Vancouver and visited, and we kind of reconnected that whole part of the family.
Yeah.
It was like we didn't really miss a beat. But
No.
when I met you then, you were making content, but it wasn't really that big at the time. And
No.
I think, and you were also still, most of your like really crazy videos were like Snapchat, I feel like, because I remember you'd be
It was
like
just like a day in my
sending it
life.
to your friends. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just sending vlogs to my friends, and like it was like, hey guys, like I'm going here, like I'm here in Vancouver, or like it was just random stuff that you would just send to your friends, and it was like basically now I would call it a task, like I'm doing a vlog for people, creating this, but it was like something I did naturally and I didn't even think about. You know what I mean? That's how it was. It started as Snapchat, doing just random vlogs. Yeah.
So your page probably grew drastically, right? When that happened, did you kind of start switching up a bit of your content based on that, or did you kind of just stick to what you started off with?
Yeah. Okay, so my content started with like, just myself, doing makeup on myself, content creating. Then I had a lot of like just vendors and makeup artists and like outfit vendors, and they just wanted to collab with me. I guess they noticed that, in the brown community in Toronto, especially where there's a big market for influencers and content creators, especially, for modeling. So I got, some reach with people asking, hey, would you like to model? And I'm like, I've never thought about this, but I just, I did it. So I've never done it before. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just try it out. I liked it because I've always had my friends, if we were going out, I had like my friends taking pictures of me. I'm like, this is something that comes to me natural. I'm not really shy or nervous in front of the camera. Like I'll be okay to pose. So then I got into modeling. And so I had a lot of like different makeup artists that wanted to work with me. So we did a lot of shoots during that time. And then I just kept my page being like, looks for my own and then modeling. And then it was hard because I didn't want to put like, all my other personal life out on public social media. So I kept it very private where like, if I'm going out, it was not shared on my public social media. If like I didn't do full body pictures or like, a night out, I didn't post that stuff. It was literally just business kind of related, like, makeup and just modeling gigs. And that was it. But then, yeah, I went through a little bit of a tough time and I was like, you know what? Like, people like my content, people like seeing who I am. Why not just expand? Like, why not just put myself out there as who I am truly? And so then I started sharing lifestyle stuff. I started sharing, like, I'm out with my friends. I did a look and just posting that type of stuff, outfit stuff. And I got good feedback from like my followers and I noticed more engagement. And that's when I was like, okay, maybe this is what the people want to see. And so I just shifted from there and
I feel like that content does work the best because
yeah.
when people are on social media, it's like fun to look at like random stuff all the time, but it's fun to see other people having fun in life and stuff like that as well, right? So some people also feel like, oh, I can't do it, but I'm living through this person as they're posting it, right? So that content is also like, it's fun to watch.
When you're saying you're doing modeling gigs like before,
Yep.
They were like wedding bridal stuff or what was it?
I did a lot of South Asian bridal stuff. So just bridal wear and working with different photographers.
Did you feel weird like being a bride when you're not actually a bride?
That's a good question. I actually was. Yeah, I've always had that question on my mind.
No, like it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say it. There's sometimes you see models that are brides, and then they're like being brides all the time, and then you're just like, damn, like I feel like it kind of numbs you to the bridal look because when your day comes, you've done it so many times. It's still a special day. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Secondly, it's like, oh, this poor girl can't get a real fucking day, so she has to wear the model. I'm not joking. This is what I think.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not trying to be a jerk.
No.
So, did you feel weird? Obviously, the next few times.
Okay, the first few times I did it, I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like, this is what I'm gonna look like as a bride.
Yeah.
And like as a brown girl, we look up to like, one day I'm gonna be a bride, and growing up, okay, like a dream bride, So the first few times it was like, oh my god, this is so cool. This is what I'm gonna look like. But then after a while, like doing it more than 3 to 4 times, I was like, okay, this is very repetitive. It's something like I've already done. I don't know. Like, it made me really think about like what I want to be as a bride. Like maybe it's not
good
this
practice.
Extravagant. Yeah,
that's
like,
a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, and I've done a recent collab like maybe 3-4 months ago. And I don't do much, like we're talking like 4 years ago that I've done like bridal
a lot of them. Yeah, I know.
Consistently. And so I haven't done them consistently in a while. And so I did one maybe like 4 months ago and it was a very basic, very Punjabi look. And it was like a nice braid, a nice long sleeve lenga. And it was a simple. And I'm like, hey, maybe this is my vibe. Like,
do girls ever talk about that though? Like, is it like some girls that say I would never do bridal stuff? Like, is that a thing?
Like, what do you mean?
Like some girls being like, I don't want to do bridal modeling.
Bridal modeling?
Yeah, just because it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a special
like,
day that, maybe you don't, I don't know.
I feel like maybe.
But not you.
I've never come to my mind to be like, okay, I don't want to do bridal anymore. Maybe because I've done it so many times. I'm like, okay, my audience has grown. Like my page has grown. So I feel like they've already seen enough like me being in a bridal wear. Unless it's something very trendy and different that's like trending right now. I feel like there's no point of me doing that again. It's not really,
So another thing that you've had a lot of, all of us as Punjabi kids, we grow up with different types of strict parents. I know your family obviously very well.
Yeah.
When it comes to posting content, you probably didn't tell your parents that you're starting.
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of people listening may feel the same way. They're like, I could never tell my parents, and I really hope they never find my content.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit different for me and us because first of all, we are guys. So it's a little bit different. The way it is in our culture.
Yeah.
And my parents didn't know what a podcast was. Podcast, what?
Yeah.
I can't even talk. What a podcast was.
So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're doing a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I told my parents I'm going to do it, and they were like, what are you going to talk about? What's going on? And then I told them that I'm going to have a guy like Mindy on the show. They're like, what the hell?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a big reaction. Yeah.
It was like, you need to, like, what are you doing? You're getting into the wrong path, maybe, you know, type of shit.
Yeah.
Now I bring this up to say with you did not tell your parents,
No.
but they found out.
Yeah.
And nowadays, all of our moms and some of our dads are using TikTok anyways,
Mm.
and that algo knows what to do.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It don't care who you are, but
Yeah.
it finds the
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
It's the best algorithm in any social media for sure, by far. What was that day like? Where like, you know, when or maybe just like when your family started finding out.
The first time I ever did a bridal shoot, I was very proud of it. Like when I got the pictures, I'm like, oh, wow, like this is my first modeling gig. I'm wearing a bridal lehenga, and like I've watched my like mom specifically, you know, watch, videos on YouTube, just watching brides and like watching movies, and there she talks about all the actresses, wearing a bridal lehenga. She looks beautiful. You talk about kinda sona lehenga hai oda, right? And so, like it took me a lot of courage to show her, like, hey mom, like this is what I did. Like, I did a modeling, shoot, and I showed her, and she, like I knew, like just by looking at her expression, like she was like, oh, like she wanted to say I look great, like kinni soni lagdi meri kudi, but she wasn't able to say it, kind of thing, right?
So she got pissed off.
She wasn't she wasn't pissed off. Like
Okay.
from her facial expression, she's like I could tell that she's seeing like
Uncomfortable. She was uncomfortable.
she was uncomfortable, but I could see in her face that she's thinking like, that's my
Girl.
my daughter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she looks good, right?
She's never thought that before. That's why it was the first time, probably.
Probably. but
Go on.
but her first comment was like, if people see this, what are they gonna say?
Loki
Oh
can
my
Loki
God,
ki
the
kahoge.
typical.
Eta, edi kudiya. Like what would they say?
Changa nahi lagda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Changa nahi lagda, ek idda de kapde paye, even though it's a lehenga.
Yeah.
Even though in our culture, South Asian culture,
Lenga's normal.
lehenga's normal. We wear it to weddings, but because it's a modeling gig, because it's,
This is what I was talking about.
you're
yeah.
not the bride.
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Exactly.
You're doing it for an actual photo shoot. It's, actually being the model. It's like, loki ko goge ke, like, tiyar ho ke photo khech diya, and that's looked very bad upon in our community. And so, yeah, like, I feel like our parents are not accepting to it, but it's just a conversation you have to have with them. And the more you show them, the more they become open to it. So it's not something I want to do secretly behind them. Yes, like I'll do shoots, and it's respectfully. You have to think about your upbringing as well, your culture. It's not something I will do to, have like a bad name for my family. So, I had to explain that to my mom, like it's a lehenga, we wear that in our culture. I go to a reception, I'm wearing a lehenga, right?
Mhm.
So it's something that it was very hard for my mom to see, but I didn't want to not show her and just go for a modeling gig and come back home and not show her like, hey, this is what I, not show her. So I would come home and be like, hey, this is like the lehenga I wore. How pretty is it? So kind of change the topic and not be like, oh, like this is what I did, but like look at the lehenga, talk about how pretty it is, talk about how good my makeup looks, my hair looks, and having that conversation with your mom, it helps. So no, I didn't really get negative feedback from my modeling gigs. Yeah.
So eventually,
Yeah.
you moved on from bridal gigs.
Yeah.
You started doing makeup for other people, or was that happening at the same time?
Yeah. So no, that was not happening at the same time. I actually started last year summer when I
Oh, really?
first officially took clients, and I work full time. So I don't know if most of your audience or
Side hustle,
clients.
yeah.
But my main job is I'm an ECE. I work with kids, so I'm an early childhood educator. So I've been doing it for 9 years now in August.
Nice.
So I love working with kids. That's like my life. That's what I grew up. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I enjoy it. And that's why I still have this job doing, content creating plus being a makeup artist.
Well, either way, you were talking about that. What I was gonna say though is, you I was asking if you were doing bridal makeup at the same time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, yes. So I'm still doing modeling. I just stopped doing the bridal.
But your modeling has changed.
It's changed. I was only doing unpaid work before that. So I was not doing any paid. It was honestly collaborations. I was excited. I was looking forward to work with different vendors, different artists, different, get myself out there. And so everything was unpaid and it was easier to get modeling gigs. I had a lot of artists reach out to me. I had a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And so it came to me, and when I had the time, I took it. And so I think it was maybe a year, 2 years ago. It was a year. And I was like, my New Year's resolution is I am not going to be taking any more modeling gigs unless it's paid. Because I'm like, I've had a lot of photographers ask me, what agency do you work for? And I'm like, honestly, I work for no agency. I'm literally just an independent. Like, I'm just here on my own doing my thing. This is who I am. I have no training. I've not been to modeling school. This is just me. And that's when I clicked to me. I'm like, wow, like I've got really good feedback from photographers who've worked with multiple models, multiple different people in the industry, right? And so when I'm hearing that feedback, that means something. And so that's when I was like, okay, no, this year or like the coming year, I'm going to start paying for my work. This is worth it. It's not easy. Being a model on set is not easy. I've had some hard days where I'm sweating. I'm wearing a full-on bridal lehenga with like, chura and jewelry. And you hear it from a real bride and it's like, like they can't sit for, their lama. Like I'm there. I can't even imagine, getting up, sitting down and just being in that and shooting and posing in heels, right? It's a lot of work. And there's some photographers and videographers that want, the perfect picture, the perfect clip. So redoing shots, it's a lot of work. And so when I went through that stress, plus working full time, Monday to Friday, and I'm like on the weekends working this, I'm like, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm not doing it unless I'm getting paid for it. Mm-hmm. So that's when I stepped my...
Or unless it's your own wedding.
Unless it's my own wedding, right?
No, that has to be paid too, doesn't it?
No, I'm paying for that. I'm literally paying for that to suffer, right? That big day to go through that.
Yeah.
But I'm doing this and I'm not getting paid. So that's when I'm like, no, I'm New Year's. The next time I get an opportunity, I will set my rate and I will say, this is what my rates are. If you're going to pay me or if, that's when we can work together. And otherwise it's not for me. I've already done it enough. So it's not something that's really benefiting my page. And my page has already seen it. I feel like I've grown. And so at that point, it seemed like, it's going to be a work kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So you said you were modeling and then you said you started doing like some paid work as well.
Yeah.
The first time I saw you was off a post on Instagram with Suka.
Okay.
And then he sent it to me. And you go, oh, it's my cousin on there. Okay. I'm like, this doesn't look like a music video. I'm like, what is this?
Okay.
I'm like, what are you guys fucking... everyone in the comments is like, oh my God, she just broke the hearts of like 50,000 like 16-year-olds out there, however old they are, millions. But how'd you go about like meeting him and getting in the video?
How long did you guys date for again? No, you guys didn't date. That's the funny thing is that's the
everyone thinks you did.
No, everyone thinks you did.
I thought you did.
No. Yeah. The other
he even told me no, and I still didn't believe it.
It's valid for you to think that way.
Yeah.
It's totally valid for the community, everyone who've seen that video to think that way. But yeah, can we just say no? We haven't dated.
Yeah.
But it was
a gig, right?
Yeah.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
Do you mind sharing that experience? Like you knew Sukha's music, which by the way, I listened to Sukha.
That's what made it sus for me.
Carr.
Because he told me about it.
No, but that was
and
before.
And then a month later, she's in the
No,
video.
it wasn't
I'm
a
like,
month later.
I'm like, all right, this ain't
It wasn't
adding
a
up.
month later.
It
was a year later. After I showed you. I had listened to the song "Same Thing" with Sukha and Harleen Carr, and I was like, "This is insane. I'm surprised these guys aren't popular yet." We'll roll it right here.
I'm surprised that nobody knows this song, and I'm surprised they haven't blown up yet, but I won't be surprised when they do.
Because I showed it to you, And then I was like, oh, this guy's awesome. I showed it to a bunch of my friends. They're all like, oh, I've never heard this song, but it's good.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, damn, damn, damn. And then obviously fast forward, you're in some lovey-dovey freaking video with him.
Yeah.
So-
which is very unexpected. Like,
Yeah, so tell us about it.
I had no idea. But
So how did it start?
yeah. So
He DM'd you?
no. So my TikTok transition to like, doing like once I got ready makeup, I enjoyed truly listening to Suka's music. And it all started off of like TikTok audio. Whatever was trending, it was like, okay, like this is a beautiful song. I love it. We're going to make a freaking TikTok, and I'm ready wearing my Indian outfit or whatever it was. And then we're going to lip sync to it. And so it was the first song that I probably lip synced to his music was Sangdi. And that's the song we did our reel to, right? And so why are you laughing?
I just can't listen to that song because I know it's just like
It's such a good song.
No, I like the song. It just makes me think of when we think of that song now. It just reminds me of that.
Yeah,
That's what's funny to me.
When I listen
Have
to
a
that,
unique
I mean, when I
experience.
listen to that song and it plays, and I'm like, okay, that's my song. That's my song, guys. Like,
Yeah.
But yeah. So it's just a regular TikTok I posted, and I just lip synced to that
And it blew
song,
up.
Sangdi. Yeah, and I loved that song. It was like, it's just his music. It's just my
It's good.
vibe.
It's a great
like
vibe.
very slow, romantic, and it's just my type of music. I don't listen to rap. I
But
don't
he
listen
also
to
has
desi
the
rap.
but he also has the gangster stuff, which I really like too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too crazy.
He has a good blend. He has a good blend.
he has a
of
good
both.
blend,
Yeah.
but I
It's
love
fantastic.
his.
But
He's
just
one
don't,
of my favorite.
don't
one of my
watch him
favorite
live.
Punjabi artists.
Just don't watch him live. Just leave it
You're
at that.
joking.
Did I not ever talk about it on the pod? My experience at the concert?
I feel like every artist though, when they start, their
Yeah, I
first
think
concert
starts
shit.
bad. Yeah, AP's was fucking terrible.
No,
It
Shubs
wasn't
I just showed you was really
Shub
bad
was
too.
really bad.
But I
Yeah.
do. But I
feel
think
bad
that
for him.
I think that when you first start,
It's a growing
hard.
experience.
But
It's
I
hard.
can say
Yeah.
like he's saying to like just when I was on set with him, like he's really telling me he's releasing a new song, and I'm like, okay, sing it. And so he sang it, and I'm like, okay, damn, like your
No,
voice
he
is-
was using his voice. That was one
Yeah.
thing I did like.
his voice
no
is actually
auto-tune.
wow. I'm
It
like,
was,
wow,
yeah,
that's
it's
good.
that
It's
good,
amazing.
yeah.
You're not joking. It's not
Yeah.
autotune right now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. But anyway, so I used the song and it went viral. Like the video went, like I got a lot of views. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. I didn't think of it as anything, I use AP's music, I use Karan Aujla's music, and I use everyone's music. So then I just got a random email for like, oh, hey, like, just wondering if, you want to collaborate. I'm Sukha's manager, reaching out. We're thinking of doing a reel to a song that you posted on TikTok, which was like Sangdi. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Sure. But first I was skeptical because I'm like, okay, is this fake? Like, is this just a
Scam.
fake scam email, right? And we get that a lot. So we have to be very cautious. And I don't know why, but a part of me was just like, okay, maybe it's not. So I replied to it and it seemed pretty real, got the person's number, and then we went about it, and they're like, okay, like let's set up a date, let's set up a time and payment and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, seems legit, right? So then we met up, and it was at a jewelry shop who I actually know. I went by myself. I showed up by myself for my first ever, I'm thinking it's like a music video gig in my head, right? But it's just a reel. It's just a TikTok, which is big enough because it's like Suka, this person that I listen to all the time. So I show up, and his manager's there, his videographer, and he's there, and I'm like, holy shit, this is real. Like, hey, like, how's it going? This is cool. And so we sat down and we just shot the video, and the video was literally shot on a MacBook. And he literally said, we saw your TikTok, we enjoyed it, like, you'd be a perfect person to like do this with. But I had no idea it was gonna like.
You should have known, but you don't realize. You don't think about these
Yeah,
things.
like I should have known. But I was just so like in awe, like, oh my God, am I really seeing Suka right now? Am I really doing a reel with him right now? That's crazy. It's like a collaboration. Pretty cool. So I did the video, and we sat down, and it was like a MacBook. And I grew up on MacBooks and those webcams, right? Where it's like the hearts on your head. And he's like, you know what? It's going to be literally just a video of you lip syncing, you doing you, right? You're just beside Suka this time. And you're just lip syncing to that song, and you're just vibing. You're just lip syncing to the song, you're vibing, and that's it. And I expected it was going to be a day shoot. Dude, it was literally like not even an hour. It was like within 2 takes. It's like, all right, this is amazing. This is great. Like, once it's put together, we're going to send it to you, and done. And so once it was out there, like I loved the video. It was amazing because I've seen it. I saw it before it was released, kind of thing, because I watched it. It was on a webcam. It's not something that was, recorded on a video, like a camera where I couldn't see, right? It's what we kind of did together. And so I saw it, and then once it was posted, I'm like, this is amazing, awesome. But then the comments went a different direction, right? They went to like, oh my God, Sukha's new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or like Sukha's in a relationship.
When you first read the first one like that, what was your first
I
reaction?
was like,
Because did you even expect it to even
didn't
go that way at all?
no.
No, so then what
I
was your
should have
thought?
known.
Yeah, but what was your thought? Like your first thought?
I'm like, damn, really? Like, is this
This is
what
real
people-
now.
Yeah, like in the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not really liking this. The idea of like people labeling me as like, Sukha's
Someone's girl.
girlfriend. Yeah.
And you're not.
Yeah. So it was not something I was proud of. Oh my God, like let me flex. I'm Sukha's girl. It was like, shit, like, this is what people are gonna, know me as, because my following went up. It went crazy up. Like I didn't expect that.
And some of them, were there a lot of guys actually that were started following you because of it too? at
There
that
was
time?
a lot of guys, yes, but a lot of girls, and
Mainly
I feel like
girls.
younger girls, right? A lot of younger girls, and I got a lot of messages from girls. Lots of DMs were flooded with, "How did you meet Suka?" Like Suka,
Just angry.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Oh, were they mad?
Really?
Oh
They
yeah,
were
I had a
actually
lot of girls.
angry.
Like,
Oh, girls are messaging you mad?
Yeah.
That's
I had-
since I was just joking.
I
I
had
didn't
variety,
expect that.
so
I
I
didn't
had a-
expect that. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
And
Who are
now-
yo? Okay, hold on. Who are you girls? What are you guys doing? Wait,
yeah.
until there's nothing like concrete, why would you even bother messaging her all these hate?
It was a lot of hate, but there was a lot of love. They were like,
Okay.
"Oh my
DMs?
God, you like got such a pretty girl. Like,
Oh.
Suka did
okay.
amazing. Like, he got such a beautiful girl." Then there was a select few where like, "Oh my God, like, Suka's mine." Like, it was like a possessive girls. I'm like, what? I'm not even claiming him, guys. Like, there was a lot of girls in comments and my DM saying, Suka's mine. Like, he already Suka have girl. I'm heartbroken. On to the next one. How do I move on from this? And I was just so confused. Like, I'm in this third wheel situation. Like, I'm not, but I am, right? And so when I would go out and I would see people.
Oh God.
Did you get scared ever? Like, what if there's like one really like psychotic person?
Well, we'll
out
get there. We'll
Like,
get there. We'll
Yeah.
get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
No way.
we'll get
Yeah,
there.
we'll get there. Keep that in
Okay,
your
yeah.
mind.
Stay
But,
tuned. Yeah,
um,
go on.
Yeah, but I've had like people walk up to me, or like family. I had a family come to me and ask me, "Yo, call me. Did we miss a chapter in your life? Did you not tell us something? Do you need to tell us something?"
No way.
I'm like, "Guys, what? Are you dating this person?" I got people literally sharing this reel to me left, right, and center. TikTok, WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. It's probably in every WhatsApp group.
Instagram.
Your whole family's WhatsApp groups are probably just like
Yeah.
blowing up.
Yeah, honestly. And like even my brother, and they're like, "Yo, my boy sent me this, TikTok of you, and like, yo, like, are you dating Suka?" I'm like, "Bro, it's a fucking video. It's just a reel. Like, chill, relax. Like, it's just a reel." But it was a shock at me first, and I'm like, "Holy shit, this is like, I didn't know how to take it." Right? Especially when family's asking you, I had to explain to everybody, no, it's literally just me collaborating with him. But I was proud of it, like I got a gig, like, an artist that I truly enjoy listening to. I literally just did what I do on a daily basis, just with him next to me, with the artist next to me, right? So it's a cool, right? But then when I got that side, which I didn't expect, which I should have known kind of thing, it was like, yeah, like, oh my God, what the heck? But
So
when people ask me, I had to really explain. Like,
this
no,
is the
it's
first
just
time.
a video.
This is the first time you're addressing it, really. But this has been going on. Like, when was that for video? Like a year and a half ago? A year ago? About a year ago.
Like a year ago.
So a year ago, that video came out, and we just went on a TikTok live recently
Yeah.
to review our other grandmas, sisters, one of our
Kids,
kids,
Our other
basically.
cousins. Yeah.
Our other cousin from the same part of the family.
Yeah.
Who has an amazing bakery by the name of Emerald Baking.
Emerald baking, guys.
Yeah, and so we did. You did a little taste test. You're in Toronto,
Yeah.
and you're sitting there eating it.
Yeah.
And I went on the live with you.
Yeah.
And bro, every second comment, we're taste testing Emerald Baking like cake, and all freaking the comments are, yo, are you still with Suka? Are you still with Suka?
No
Yo, what happened
way.
with Suka? What happened? What happened? Did Suka cheat on you?
So
Well, all the comments, I'm like reading them and I'm like, okay, I guess we're gonna ignore half these. And then
You're just like you're trying to read the comments, and it's just Suka. You're just like, oh
No.
hey, that one person that said hi 5 comments
no,
ago.
so our cousin.
yeah, so it always, when I did lives in the beginning, it was always questions about Sukha. You're dating Sukha, like you're Sukha's girlfriend, and I just was like, I don't want to answer them. Like I don't know what to say. I'm confused, right? Like I just don't know how to respond to it, right?
Because you also don't want to like be like, ew, not Suka. Like you're a fan of Suka. You
like
like
he's a
Suka. You
friend.
respect him.
Like
You respect
he's a
him.
friend. I
Yeah,
respect
you respect
him.
him. Yeah.
We've worked together 3 times. We've done 3 videos, and he's an amazing person. And so when I got those comments, I was just like, I'm just doing me. I'm just working on myself. Kind of like let it be. People have
crazy.
questions, whatever. But then there was a time where maybe like 6 months after, I just started just motivational quotes reposting on my TikTok. Reposting motivational quotes, reposting, self-love stuff, growth, and all that stuff on TikTok. And you know how like people who follow me, they see your repost. And so I started randomly just getting messages and comments. Did you break up with Sukha? Or like, did you cheat on him? Or people, yeah, like I got
Yeah, she's
random
gonna reply
DMs.
to that, right? She's like, oh,
Like,
in what right? Why would
well,
someone
you
even
broke
reply to
Sukha's
that? Be like,
heart.
yeah, I did.
You're this, you're that, or like
You broke Suka's heart.
yeah, like
These
or
people can't be real.
yeah, and I'm
Come
just
on.
like confused.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
real.
What life
bro.
do these people live?
yeah. So I didn't even know how to act, like react. I'm like, you know what? This is weird. You know what? So whenever people said anything, I'm like, people are gonna say whatever they want to say, and they're gonna talk anyways. So I'm just like, you know what? Let them, right?
So you didn't want to like address it or like comment on it or anything like that?
No, I'm like, it's not worth it. And I did. Every time I went on like my TikTok live, which I do like going on live because I notice I get the most engagement. And people would like just comment on Sukha comments, and then I get, oh, did you break up with him? Like you're broken up with him, or like, are you still dating Sukha? Like people are just curious, and it's like, and I've addressed it. I've never dated Sukha. Like it's honestly just a collaboration. It's just a friend. We've collaborated. And so,
Did it ever get like to a point where it was like affecting you in your actual
Mentally?
life? Like was it like mentally, like
No.
or ever like frustrating you? Just like, oh, I'm trying to make a regular content. Like, really shut the fuck
no,
up.
I didn't let it
You're
affect
pretty good
me.
at shutting it out.
Yeah, I was.
You don't let hate comments, even worse than
Yeah,
that, which we'll
yeah.
get to. You don't let it get to.
In the beginning, when I first started my career of like, makeup and stuff, yeah, it affected me. But then along the run, I was like, at the end of the day, people are going to talk, and it's their own insecurities projecting, right? So I looked past it. So I was able to just look past it and not reply to those comments. My niche is fashion. My niche is beauty. When I was on TikTok Live, people had questions about beauty, my makeup, what skincare are you using? I was willing openly to answer those questions. But as soon as I didn't answer the Sukha related questions, people were like, she's ignoring us. It's a Q&A. Like, her TikTok live says Q&A and get ready with me, but she's not even answering the question.
These people are so annoying.
Right? Like she's not even answering the question. But for me, it's like, I don't need to answer those questions. It's my live. I get to choose what I want to do on my live, right?
exactly.
And if I don't want to answer those questions, I don't have to. My niche is beauty. My niche is that.
No, but you have already addressed it. Here you are in the public record.
the thing is,
this will be
it's
the
like
last
one of
time
those
anyone ever
things.
asks you.
No,
hopefully.
it's like one of those things. It's like, no, to me, it's fucking true. What she says doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I still think it's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
It's
Even
a
if I
stubbornness.
answer it,
yeah,
right?
It doesn't
People are
matter.
gonna answer
They'll be
regardless.
like, oh, she's just hiding it. She's
Exactly.
purposely saying that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Some people
I
are
get that.
difficult.
You're my younger sister, and I have to acknowledge the fact that, first of all, all of my cousins have a special place in my heart, of course. Every single cousin in a different way, right? With you look more like my mom than me
Yeah.
or my sister or anyone else. And so when my mom and her are together at a wedding or something and they take a photo together, we just went to a wedding in New York last year.
Yeah.
And some cousins that didn't know, it was just me and my mom that went from our house. And you went with your mom. That's it.
Yeah.
And we're all there mixing and mingling. And one guy specifically, jaw dropped to the floor when he's like, "Wait, you're not her daughter?" type of situation.
Yeah.
So I look at you and I think about my mom having, my mom didn't have Instagram or TikTok. I don't know how much different her life would have been if she decided to lean into that world. Right? It's just it's a crazy thought to me. It
Yeah,
really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
Regardless, we're here. And we have now reconnected. And I feel like, oh my God, I care about you. And I don't want you to get go on the wrong path of meeting the wrong person or ending up in a situation that puts you in any sort of danger. And I know you don't want that. Nobody in your life would want that. When you start to get this kind of attention, it like you mentioned, there's scams, there's things like that. But there's also a lot of like weird intentions around people. And
Yeah.
yes, you get some comments around, hey, how did you, there are some good lifestyle questions that people ask you. However, you also get a lot of DMs from guys. Now you're not the only girl that gets DMs from guys. Many girls that have no following or no beauty page get DMs from guys.
Yeah.
When you get DMs from guys, some of them are famous. Some of them might have, some of them you've talked to several people now that are in different industries. And when I hear this, I'm like, okay, I love this for you, but like, I also don't want you to get, like the star, you get starstruck or whatever it might be. And you hear about it all the time, right? Hollywood freaking stories and all these things. And I'm really proud of how, strong you've been, but I got to ask, and I think the audience will be curious. Guys are going to be curious, first of all, how come she doesn't reply to my DMs? No, I'm joking. But like guys will get the perspective of as the senders.
Yeah, you're not joking, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then girls are going to go, oh my God, she gets DMs too. And how does she deal with it? So, what is that like? You get a lot of DMs. Is it 50-50 split of guys, girls? Is it 75 to 25? Do you feel comfortable even answering that?
Yeah. I mean, it's a 50-50 split. Like I have a lot of girls, which I appreciate. I love those DMs from girls who say, I look up to you. And I've been following you for a while. You've come a long way and you've been doing great, or just beauty tips, or like they want advice. Those are amazing to see.
Like what type of fucking shit do you see from guys DMing you?
Like I don't know.
You don't want to talk about
What cringy pickup lines?
Yeah, like I do get cringy pickup lines. I do get a lot of people. I notice those DMs, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes I do. Like a lot of DMs are like, guys I've noticed, which is really odd to me, wanting to book makeup for their sibling. I've gotten that before. And that just made me question, like, I'm sure your sister has an Instagram. I'm sure you can send my page to your...
It's a little smart. I'll give them that.
No, they're
but
trying
it's
to find a
fucking
different
terrible.
way to get to you.
Yeah. But
And I can respect it.
That's a worse way to do it though.
Yeah.
Because you have to be focused on the work. You're not gonna
Yeah.
be fucking talking to nobody else.
Yeah. I've gotten DMs like that. I've gotten DMs where like guys will send DMs and then they'll unsend it and then they'll send it again and then they'll unsend it and send it again. I'm like, I've seen you in my DMs 50 times and it's showing one message. You've unsent the last 50 messages.
Tough.
But it's like,
Give up.
just, like
Just let it go, man. Just let it go.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just not someone, like my beauty page is not where I'm trying to find someone to just respond to DMs and find someone I'm looking for. It's not the place, right? So
Have you? So I know the answer to this, but have you been? People obviously might be curious. Have other artists reached out to you? Have you done other work other than Suka? Because you said you've done 3 videos with Suka.
Yeah.
2 reels, 2 TikToks, and then
Yeah.
and then 1 music video officially,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What happened after that?
Yeah.
Other artists reach out to you too?
I did have a lot of opportunities. I've had a lot of other artists reach out to me, which was like it was amazing for me. But I've never seen myself in this career. So like the music video
Came out of
industry.
nowhere.
Yeah, it came out of like a shock. And I did the first reel I did for Sangati, the MacBook video with Suka. And that same day, Suka comes to me and he's like, okay, like we would love to have you on our next music video. Like he's releasing a new song. And I had to think about it. And I'm like, okay, like I've never thought about it. Like you're just throwing it at me right now. And I need to think about it, right? So I thought about it. I got the information, the details, the producer, the director. And I was like, okay, like, I want to know what it's about. And if it's something I could vibe with, what? Why not? Like, I love his music, so let's just try it. And the music video went great. Like, it was awesome. Like, it was amazing. So then after that, I did get a lot of, artists wanting to work with me, singers, but I didn't see myself in that career going that way.
Why not?
I wanted to continue my passion for just art and makeup. And at that point, I wasn't even doing clients. I wasn't doing client makeup, right? So my goal was to do makeup for clients. I love art. And so that's what I wanted to do. And so music video was not on the top of my head. And so when I did get those, it was amazing artists, like artists that I do listen to as well, right? But it was, I had to like shut it down kind of in a way because I'm like, this is not what I see myself doing. I didn't want to take it as something like, oh, like, you know, another artist reaching out to me. It's super cool. Let me just do it, you know? No, it was more so what resonates with me.
I think that as a person, you have the right to do whatever you want. So if you feel comfortable being on all these music videos, whatever, then absolutely. But I am really, really proud of the fact that you are staying true to who you are, staying kind of focused on, because a lot of these opportunities are keep presenting themselves. There's going to be more and more. There's going to be different things, and it's important to try different things too. But I think it's also important to know this is my vision, right? So on the note of that, like 5 years from today, what would be a very, very ideal vision for you? Where would you like to be in your like content creation journey? Maybe you can be a principal in early childhood care, but let's talk about your influencer side. Or do you see yourself maybe leaving? Like, do you see in 5 years, ideally, you're not doing any of that work and you're solely doing what you love doing, which is creating content?
Yeah.
And makeup.
I've always wanted to be a teacher. I've always wanted to work with kids, which is what like I still am currently doing, right?
Yeah. I laugh because of the way you talk to my dog. That's all. But yeah, go on.
He's a little baby.
Okay, go on.
Come on.
Go on.
But in the next 5 years, I feel like a full time, I would want to do content creating. Like that's where I find joy. Like on a daily, like a regular day, content creating doesn't seem like a job to me. I mean, it is. It's content creating is not easy. You know, it's something you plan, but it's something that comes natural to me. You know, I just stick my phone. I'm able to naturally just pose and I'm able to talk to the camera. And that's what essentially content creating is about, right? And I enjoy it, right? I'm working with different brands.
And you're working with some brands right now,
Yeah.
Regardless of mentioning them, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I do work with.
No free ads on this podcast.
Unless
Yeah, I do work with brands.
Unless it's emerald baking.
Unless it's emerald breaking. Yes, honestly.
Cut that out. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm repping your brand right now. It's green.
We love emerald breaking, guys.
I had a question about your modeling. So obviously, you've probably had male photographers, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been put in a position where you felt uncomfortable or they were asking for a bit much? You don't have to say exactly who it is if it did happen, but kind of how'd you like navigate around that?
So when I've worked with photographers, like I can tell who I can be comfortable with. If I can have a conversation with them and they're comfortable and they, they openly communicate, hey, like I want you to be comfortable. That's key for me. You know, you're here, you're posing, be comfortable, be yourself. Let me know, that communication is so important to me, which helps alleviate that kind of tension. Right. And so I've had a few gigs where like, a photographer has been very, I haven't felt uncomfortable in front of that photographer and I have to be very like, cautious, but it's not something that's, I know I can control kind of thing. If I feel uncomfortable, I'm able to tell. I have a makeup artist with me. So there's other women on set. So I'm able to kind of control that situation. Or if I feel uncomfortable, I can, talk about it. I don't really talk about it. I finish the shoot and I just go about my day kind of thing. But then I know going forward, I will not be working with that photographer, right? Mm. You get an idea of the photographer, the person, and you don't want to continue that collaboration or work with that person.
But you also, before you agree to any terms, is part of your terms to understand, right? Like what kind of shoots are going to be done.
Yeah.
These are these are things, these are no-go zones for me.
Yeah.
These are okay zones.
Yeah.
And then there's certain things you just don't want to do in general.
Yeah.
And again, you have the right to choose. Yeah. But like if they, you don't want to, you'd be surprised that this stuff can happen, but they can be like, oh, we need a model. You say, yeah, sure. But then they dress you up to be whatever. And you're like, what the hell? This isn't my part of my brand.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with this or whatever. And then they don't, and then you're stuck there. So I think the key is early on, before you agree to move forward,
It's
have
communicated.
yeah. And I don't know. I don't think it's a bad idea to have someone else involved, like a manager for sure, because people, you just never know what people's intentions are. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of creepy people out there.
Yeah.
And like, you don't know, you might, like you said, even the Suka thing looked like a scam.
Yeah.
And then you end up, checking it out and going, okay, this is actually legit, right?
Yeah.
I also have another question.
Okay.
Not so like serious. So I know a lot of like women that do modeling, they for like music videos, they sometimes go on to like movies and stuff.
Mm.
Was that something you would ever want to do?
Okay, you know what's crazy? I think we talked about this, but I had an opportunity. So it's with one
Big.
big movie star and artist in Punjabi, right? I had the opportunity, but it was never something I expected to come to me. Like so early on, like in my career of content creating, even like I haven't even done like music videos. It's just after the one Suka music video, I got this crazy opportunity, and it was like would you want to be in a movie? And I was like, holy shit, can't be real. I grew up watching Punjabi movies, and like the fact that you want me in a Punjabi movie is crazy to me. But it's not something I see myself doing. So I didn't take it. It didn't resonate with me. The opportunities come and they go, and the right ones will stay. You know, they'll come to me. You'll take it. But maybe this one just wasn't for me at that time.
Would you do a movie in the future then?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think I'm a good actor.
Well, you don't know that. You never know.
I mean, being in front of the camera requires a
Yeah.
lot of,
And it's a lot of time and
yeah,
effort.
like
Yeah.
I'm good in front of the screen, but like
You're being yourself. You're being yourself, and you're.
I
kind of
am, I
vibing
am.
out.
But like Punjabi, like the whole, skits, the lines, and it's a lot.
And you gotta
of
know
work,
your
but
lines, their lines,
Yeah,
everybody's
yeah,
lines, and then
yeah.
And if you mess up, who knows what the fuck's gonna
yeah.
happen?
I feel like that's next level. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm still breaking the shell of being in a content creator, for my family. So like now, movie Ajagi, I'm like, oh my god, that's different level.
No, and what I love about this is it takes a certain level of self-awareness to,
Yeah.
slow things down
Yeah.
and not rush into just jumping in and freaking, going,
making
oh, this
as
is
much
yes,
money
yes,
as
yes.
you can, and
And
just
yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm a big believer in like, say yes to every opportunity you can. That changes when you reach to the point where you're at, where it's like it's big, and your whole trajectory will change after that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you've been in a movie and you've been cast, and millions of people watch that movie. Your whole reputation will change, and I think that it takes someone really, really mature to go, holy crap, this is moving a little bit fast. I
Yeah,
should be aware. And I think that most people, a lot of people kind of get roped into these things, and I don't know.
Which is okay.
Yeah, which is
like,
okay.
Yeah, it's totally
But
fine.
but the thing is, if you don't have a plan, all of a sudden you get washed out because you're on these movies and music videos, and then the new girl comes, and then the new girl comes, and it's like it is a factory of like just people coming and going. And if all you're doing is just going on the conveyor belt, you go on the conveyor belt, and eventually you're off it. Very
you
few
gotta
people.
grow at your own pace, though. That's the thing.
Yes.
Like the thing is, it's more rewarding. I think. I'm pretty sure you would agree when you do it your own way.
yeah,
And it works out.
Yeah, it works out. That it feels so much more satisfying. Feels
Yeah.
way better.
Yeah.
And instead of just like, you can take any gig. Yeah, you probably get offered a lot. If you do that all, you make money. It's good. You get more popular.
but does it resonate with me?
It doesn't. Yeah,
If
exactly.
it's not who I am, why am I doing it? If it's at the end of the day, money, but is this who I am?
Yeah,
Is this?
money isn't everything.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something that happened to you recently, which is probably one of the most fucked up things
Yeah.
that you've experienced
Yeah,
since
crazy.
creating content.
Yeah.